Good morning, students. Hope you are doing well. Let's revise our yesterday's lesson. Yes, yesterday I told you about sentence and its kinds. Yes, today before starting this lesson, I want to tell you something. I want to ask you something. Okay, first tell me what is this? Maybe some students are thinking our teacher is thirsty and that's why she is having water with her. Okay, and maybe some students are thinking that this is half filled glass, and some students are thinking it is half empty glass. Okay, both students, like the students who are saying that it is half filled glass and the students who are saying it is half empty glass, both are correct. No one is wrong. Okay, so why I am saying this? Because both are having different perspective. Yes, same thing, the perspective. Today I am going to talk you about perspective. While we are talking about sentence, we can see a sentence with different perspective. Like, to understand the concept of sentence or its kinds, if we are having the perspective to see its structure only, at that time we are having these three categories. Yes, a sentence can be divided into other different categories on the basis of its mood, on the basis of subject, on the basis of structure also. Like here in this lesson, we are going to study only the three categories on the basis of structure. Yes, here I told you in previous classes that in a sentence we are having basic format. The basic format is subject plus helping verb, verb and object. Yes, this is the basic format and it is required in all sentences to make a sentence meaningful. This basic sentence, here I am talking about again this basic format. This format is for simple sentence. But now, as we are learning in future classes, we are going to learn how to enlarge our sentences. We have to enlarge this sentence, and to enlarge this sentence we have to add some things in this basic format. Yes, to enlarge this sentence we will use conjunctors, and then we will repeat this same format again to enlarge. Okay, so now here, if we are using conjunctors and we are using these basic formats again in our sentences to make it enlarge, after that this basic format it will change into complex sentence or compound sentences. Okay students, now what you have to observe? We have to observe the conjunctions. Yes, after this basic format, the conjunctions which we are using, these conjunctions are playing a very important role, because if our conjunctions are coordinating conjunctions, our sentences will be compound sentences, and if our conjunctions will be subordinating conjunctions, our sentences will be complex sentences. Yes, as I told you, conjunctors playing very important role, and only because of these conjunctors we will be able to identify the category of our sentence. Yes students, now you have to observe some examples. Simple sentence. For simple sentence we are having the basic definition that sentences with just one subject and one predicate. Okay students, that is called simple sentence. Now you have to observe this simple sentence. Fish are swimming in the pond. In this sentence, fish, this is the subject, and this are is helping verb, and swimming it is object. Yes students, we are talking about simple sentences, and in this simple sentence, fish are swimming in the pond. Fish is the subject, are is the helping verb, and swimming is the verb. And in the pond, in the phrase which we are using to enlarge this sentence. And again in this sentence, Karan is playing outside. Karan is our subject, is our helping verb, and playing is our verb, and this is adverb which we are using to enlarge this sentence. Now here you can see we are enlarging sentences by using phrases or by using adverbs, and but even after by using these words, these sentences are simple. Why these are simple? Because for simple sentences one subject and one verb is required, and in this sentence only one subject and one verb is there. That means it is simple. And if we are having another set of subject and verb in this sentence, in that case it will be our, very good, it will be our complex or compound sentence. Yes, now we have to think or we have to study about compound sentences. As I told you, in compound sentences we have to use coordinating conjunctions. Yes, in compound sentences two or main clauses are joined by conjunctions. Now students, one thing which is very important, you have to understand that here we are using word clauses. Yes, why we are using clauses? Because in this sentence you can observe that this sentence. Okay students, I'm telling you that in this sentence we are using conjunctor. We have to focus on this conjunctor. In compound sentences, the two clauses are joined by conjunctions called coordinators, like for, and, nor, but, or, yet, or so. And for this in previous class I gave you the acronym fanboys. Very good. Now see complex sentences. In complex sentences we have to use subordinating conjunctions. For example, because, after, although, as, before, even though, if, since, though, unless, until, when, whenever, whereas, wherever, and while. These are coordinating, no, these are subordinating conjunctions. Yes, while you are using subordinating conjunctions, at that time you will use two clauses together, but in that case your one clause will be subordinate clause and one clause will be main clause. Yes, you have to understand this. And if you are having main clause, this main clause will be independent and other clause will be dependent on this. For example, before I woke up, grandfather had made breakfast. That means if we want to speak only this part, grandfather had made breakfast, it's showing that it has complete sense, like it's not depend on anything. But if we are listening this only, before I woke up, yes, you must be having question in your mind that before I woke up, yes, what happened before I woke up? That means it is not having complete sense because it is depending on this, and that's why we can use other word for that, dependent clause. Yes, that means the same thing. Subordinate clause is also having another name, that is dependent clause, and the other one which is complete, which is having complete sense, and without the another part we can speak this one also. That sentence will be main clause, and because it is main, that means you can use another word for this, that is principal clause. Yes, that means don't get confused by listening principal clause or main clause or subordinate clause or dependent clause. These are the different vocabs. Like for this we are using here main clause, and for this subordinate clause. Why we are using this subordinate word? Because it is having subordinate conjunctions. So one thing which you have to do, that before understanding the structures of a sentence, you have to learn conjunctions. Yes, conjunctions are very important in your sentence. You have to observe, you have to focus on conjunction. Now we are talking about synthesis of sentences, but in your syllabus you are having only this, like we are having different ways to combine two sentences together, but in your syllabus you have to combine two sentences together by using conjunctions only. For example, Geeta won the first prize and Shazia won the second prize. Simple sentence. Here we are having two simple sentences. Now you have to combine these two simple sentences. Here you can see your subject is having its verb and it is independent. That means both sentences, they are having complete sense and one is not depending on other. That means you can combine these by using conjunctor and easily. That means it will become compound sentence. Here you can say you have changed two simple sentences by using conjunctor and it will become compound sentence. Now you have to focus one thing also. Now in this part, while you are using in place of full stop, you are using conjunctor. Now I'm not going to say it is a simple sentence. Now it is not simple sentence. It is clause. Now it will be called independent. Yes, students, I told you this is the basic structure. And now we are going to learn how to enlarge our sentence. And to enlarge our sentence, we are going to repeat this basic structure in our one sentence. And while we will repeat the same format, we will use some conjunctors. But we have to keep some things in our mind again, that while we will combine such simple formats with the help of conjunctors, at that time this basic format will not be called complete sentence. At that time we have to change our vocab, and at that time it will be called clause. Very good. It will be called clause, but it will be called independent clause or subordinate clause. It depends on the kind of conjunctor we are going to use. Yes, now you have to focus on this kinds of sentences: simple sentence, complex sentence and compound sentences. As I told you, these simple sentences are further combined together with the help of conjunctors. That means conjunctors are going to play very important role, and while we are using conjunctors, we must know that conjunctors are also having further categories. We are having coordinating conjunctors and we are having subordinating conjunctors. If we are using coordinating conjunctors, at that time our sentence will become compound sentence. But if we are using subordinating conjunctors, our sentence will become complex sentence. Yes, you have to keep this thing in your mind. For example, first see some examples of simple sentence. Okay, let me keep this glass aside. Now first see, fish are swimming in the pond. In this sentence, in this you can observe this is the subject, it is helping verb, this are is helping verb, and this swimming is verb. And again this is the phrase which we are using to enlarge our sentence. Yes, in simple sentences even we are using some phrases to enlarge our sentence, but you have to understand that in a simple sentence what is required, that subject and verb must be there, and if we are having only one subject and only one verb, that means it is simple sentence. Again, another example, Karan is playing outside. In this sentence again we are having only one subject, that is Karan, and one verb, that is play. Very good, students. Now we have to understand about compound sentences. Now see, sentence with two or more main clauses are called compound sentences. Students, please don't confuse by getting this word clause. Yes, now we are going to combine two sentences together with the help of conjunctors, but this time because we are not having full stop at this place, after completing simple format we are not using full stop, we are using conjunctor. In this case we can't use word sentence for this part. Yes, we have to change our vocab here. So this time this part will be called clause. Very good. And the another part is also called clause. Now we can say two clauses are combined and now full stop is over here. That means with sentence starts with capital letter and it ends with full stop. Very good. That means it completely, like if we are seeing this sentence completely from this point to this point, it will become a sentence. But if we are observing only this part, that means before conjunctor, at that time we can't say that it is a sentence because it is it is, yes, you can see it is enlarged sentence and we are using conjunctors over here. Yes, conjunctor is there and another part is also there. So we are combining two clauses together, and you can see in another clause again we are having subject my sister plays with me and another verb is there, that means simple sentence format, and here again simple sentence format, and this is the conjunctor. And you can observe this is the conjunctor of which conjunctor? Coordinating conjunctor. That's why this sentence is compound sentence. That means while you have to identify the types of sentences, you have to focus on conjunctors. If you are using coordinating conjunctors, at that time your sentence will be compound sentence. Very good students. Now read this. In compound sentences, two clauses are joined by conjunctions called coordinators.